Hello and welcome back. Summer may be almost over, but it's not done yet, so I figured we had time for one more summer look. That being said, I'm coming at you today with a little sunset beach inspired makeup tutorial along with this outfit inspo. Keep in mind as you watch the video, if you are enjoying it, to please hit that like button and subscribe for more. And yeah, let's just jump into it.
I feel like any beach makeup needs to have a glow, so I'm starting off with this glowy base before I put on my foundation and concealer. So going with this tinted hydrator from Wet n Wild that really is coverage of a foundation but doesn't feel as heavy as a foundation, so I really like this. And then going in with the e.l.f., I think it's the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Dyeing that in the under eyes and in the outer corner. All the products I'm using will be linked below. I will say I'm kind of speeding through this base makeup section because this makeup tutorial is really more focused on the eye makeup. I have plenty of other makeup tutorials that go over my base makeup more in depth and how I do it and tips and tricks for all that. So I will be linking my makeup playlist at the end of this video, so you can check that out if you want a more in-depth explanation of what I'm doing here. But anyway, so I did a thin layer of the concealer because you can always build it up, but you can't really take it away. So I went back in to add a little more coverage. Accidentally put on too much, but I blended it all out and made it work. Then for contour, I used the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in the shade Java. A little warm when I'm lighter skin, but that actually works perfect for this look because, again, beachy makeup when it kind of like a warm glow. Going in with this really pretty blush. I forget the shade that I used off the top of my head, but again, all the products I'm using will be linked below. I will say I go over this more in other makeup tutorials, but I always do my contour and my blush before I put on my powder on. And I go a little heavy-handed on the blush and the contour because we will be putting powder on top of everything to blend it all together, make it seamless, and it really gives a really pretty airbrushed effect. So this is really how I do my makeup in all my videos. So before I put on my pressed powder, I'm just making sure there's no creases under my eyes from the concealer. And then this is how I've been doing it lately. So if you've been watching my previous videos, this might look a little new to you. But I'm using like a dollar store makeup sponge, dip it into the powder, and I start pressing onto the skin and then kind of swiping it. I've noticed lately my skin has been looking more textured. And so that's been bothering me. So I decided to try this out to see what would help, and it totally has been helping. So it really smooths it out, give me a really airbrushed, pretty look. I mean, as you can see here, as I'm covering everything with the powder, pressing it in, smoothing it out, it's really giving me a really pretty airbrushed, glowy look, and I'm obsessed with this new way of doing it. So this is how I've been doing it lately. And to clarify, I think I said my skin's been looking more textured. I meant to say my makeup. I just feel like my makeup's been looking kind of heavy and cakey lately. So I feel like when I've been doing this, smoothing it out and blending it all out, it's been looking so much better. And then I will just take a big fluffy powder brush to blend it down the neck so that I do contour my jawline, just make sure everything's looking blended and smooth, and just go over the face really quickly, just make sure there's no excess powder anywhere. Moving on to my brows, I'm filling them in with this CoverGirl eyebrow pencil. Again, I have other videos that go more in depth on this, but I just kind of lightly fill it in with the pencil side first, and then I go back through with the comb side on the other end and just brush it out. I would normally do this before brows, but I ended up deciding that I wanted a little bit more of a bronze look, so went back in with this Essence bronzing powder just to warm the look up a little bit more. Now we get to do the fun part. So I'm starting off with this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion just to give the eyeshadow a base to stick to, and I also have really oily eyelids. So this will help my eyeshadow stay in place and not crease up throughout the day. And I dragged a little bit down to the under eye because we will be putting eyeliner and eyeshadow there. Going in with this eyeshadow palette from Wet n Wild in the shade Camo-flaunt, I'm going to be starting with the lightest brown shade in the palette. I'm taking a regular crease blending eyeshadow brush, and it's actually also from Wet n Wild, so a super cheap one, and it will do. And I'm just going to lightly start patting this over the lid and then also blend it out into the crease area. As you're watching me blend out these eyeshadows, leave a comment below and tell me, are you excited that summer's ending and we're getting closer to fall, or are you sad about that? What are your thoughts? I personally do love all the seasons, so I love a change of season. I think they all have fun, beautiful things about them, but I will say that fall is definitely my favorite season. So though I have enjoyed summer, I am definitely excited to get into fall. And then just sweep whatever's left on the brush over the lower lash line. I do also contour the very tip of my nose with whatever is possibly left on that brush. To deepen the look, I'm going in with a darker brown shade. I'm actually just using the same contour shade I used earlier, which is the Maybelline Fit Me Powder in the shade Java. And just same thing as before, patting it onto the lid and the crease area, but not going into the really inner third of the eye. I'm keeping it on the outer 2/3 of the eyelid and crease and blending it all out. And then again, just sweeping whatever's left on the lower lash line. Now taking the darkest shade in that eyeshadow palette and picking it up with the same brush, I am just lightly dabbing it onto this outer corner of the eye. Again, I like the very outer corner, but I mean, you can see where I'm putting it. I'm just drawing into that crease area. And once I like where it's at, I just wipe off the rest of the product on my wrist so I don't accidentally put on too much product, and then go in with that brush and blending it all, keeping it very concentrated in that area, but just blending there so that it's not splotchy and patchy looking. But then as a last step, when I'm pretty confident there's no more eyeshadow on the brush at all, I will just generally sweep that over the outer lid area just to make sure everything is perfectly seamless. Now going in with this really pretty shimmery peachy pink shade in the palette, I'm picking it up with my finger because that's the way to pack on the most color, and I really want this to be very opaque. So dabbing it all over the lid with my finger. And again, look at how pretty that color is. I absolutely love it. And I went in with one more layer because I really wanted it to pop. And here I'm just taking that clean blending brush again, just smoothing it all over, making sure nothing's splotchy. Now we get to go in with the color that I'm pretty sure is what made you click on this video. Though I will say, before I started filming this video, I hadn't realized that my eyeliner pencil had dried out. This is a really pretty neon turquoise color that I absolutely love from, I think it's LA Colors. It's normally very creamy and smooth and highly pigmented, but I hadn't realized I left the lid off of it and it got dried out before I started filming this video. So getting to this point, it was a little rough putting it on, I will admit. But you will definitely not have that big of a problem if you pick up the same pencil. It is a lot smoother and creamier than it looks like here, and you'll get a lot more color payoff. So I just had to be really patient with it. I just really, really spent a lot of time rubbing it over again and again and again to get all the color paint off. But anyway, I am putting this all over the lower lash line, and then I will also put into the waterline. And again, you can make this as thin or as thick of a line. I went pretty heavy-handed with it. I mean, one, because I was trying to get the color payoff because it was pretty dried out. But two, I really want the color to be really obvious. I'm like, if I'm going to be wearing a color like this, like, I want it to really pop at your face, you know? So I went really heavy with it. And again, I love the turquoise. Turquoise, actually, fun fact, is my favorite color. So I really love it. But what I love about this look is you can pick whatever color you want on the lower line. I mean, obviously you can pick whatever colors you want anywhere, but I think this is a great way to incorporate colors into your look, especially if hooded eyelids like me. It can be hard to play with colors, but if you put on your lower lash line, this is a fun way to have the color, make sure it's still visible, and not feel like it went to waste. So again, use whatever color you want. I love turquoise, but you can pop in like purple or blue or pink, you know, play with it. We do whatever color you like. To set that liner and make the color pop even more, I'm going in with this Profusion eyeshadow palette, and the shade is perfect for this sunset beach look because it's literally called At Sea. Picking it up with a skinny eyeshadow brush, and I'm just going to be patting that all over wherever I place that color. So again, just dotting it onto that lower lash line and the waterline as well to set everything and make the color pop more. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you're enjoying this video and excited to try this makeup look out yourself. It really does mean a lot to me and I really appreciate it, so thank you so much for doing that. Now at this point, you can line your eyes however you like to do it. I personally have hooded eyelids, so I like to line the upper waterline and push it into the lash line. I'm using a black pencil from Loreal. It's the Loreal Infallible eyeliner pencil. You can use brown or, again, whatever color you want. I just personally, since I've got dark brown eyes, I like to use black because that makes them pop more. And whenever I line anything, I always set it with a powder, so I'm just taking that darkest shade from the eyeshadow palette again and just quickly setting that eyeliner. We're going to be putting glitter on the eyelid in a minute, which is going to be so fun but kind of messy. So I'm going to be finishing up with everything else first before I get to the glitter. So I'm just going to be highlighting my face with this Milani highlighter. It's a really pretty soft highlighter. I like to go crazy with the glow. I like to be glowy, but I don't like super stroby highlighters that make me look like I'm like reflecting a beam off my face or something like that. So I like that this is very soft so I can really blend this all over my face. And then I'm taking out that same highlighter on this flat eyeshadow brush and putting on the inner corner because, again, the glitter can get kind of messy. So I'm going to make sure I've laid down every other eyeshadow that I need to first before I get to the glitter. But now we get to the glitter, and I absolutely love this glitter in this eyeshadow palette. It is so sparkly and fun and just fabulous. Like, that is really the word for it. It is fabulous. It's not a powdered glitter. It is kind of like a wet texture, like a cream kind of a glitter. So it's kind of a little more hard to work with since, again, it's not a powder, but it makes it so it's a lot more opaque and like vibrant. So I'm picking this up with my finger, and I'm going to be putting this all over the eyelid and not really concerned if it gets in the crease or wherever else it gets. I mean, obviously being careful not to get it like all over my face, but you know, wherever it goes on the eyelid is great. I really want it to be glittery and sparkly and really eye-catching. Now, like I said, it is more of a creamy texture, and I don't want it slipping and sliding everywhere. So I am just lightly taking that highlighter shade and just very lightly patting on top. I'm not trying to disturb the glitter or move things around too much, but I just want to make sure it has something on top of it to keep it in place. And then we're finishing off with mascara. If you like to do false lashes, you can do false lashes at this point. Confession, I personally cannot figure out how to wear false lashes. I have tried them so many times, and they are so hard for me. I get so frustrated with them, and I just give up. So I personally have pretty decent lashes, so I feel like I can get a really good look with mascara on its own. I normally layer 2, but for now I'm just going with my tried and true and trusted Maybelline Total Temptation mascara. Now we're keeping the lips pretty simple. I'm just going in with this Burt's Bees chapstick. It's a tinted chapstick, and I think it's the color Red Dahlia. And then on top, I'm using a gloss from Miss AOA Studios. It's a really pretty, very shimmery, sparkly, peachy pink kind of gloss. So I love this one. This has definitely been a go-to lip gloss for me this summer. Voila, look at how pretty this makeup looks. Like, I love it. It is so like captivating. I love how it turned out. Now for the outfit inspo, I promised at the beginning of the video, I have this dusty pink beach sun hat that I think is so fun and pretty. I will admit I can't really link it below because I got it from the NPS store, which is like a discount last chance kind of store. So unfortunately, I don't know where it originally came from, but that being said, any beach hat will do. And then I'm putting on my wedding ring because I love my husband and love my wedding ring. So obviously I'm gonna wear it wherever I go. And you know, every makeup tutorial has that moment where they sit there and look all cutesy and pretty, showing off the makeup. So obviously I had to do that too. This beautiful gold necklace is actually Survivor made from Operation Underground Railroad, so not only are you getting a beautiful necklace, you're actually supporting a very important cause, so definitely go check that link out below. And then this beautiful feminine flowy dress is from Amazon.
Thank you so much for watching. I absolutely love how this makeup look turned out, so I really hope you enjoyed it too. If you're interested in seeing other makeup tutorials I have, or want a more in-depth explanation of how I was doing like the base makeup, then I'll link my makeup playlist here and see you over there. Thanks so much, and I hope you're having a wonderful day.